Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Wednesday, this April 21st. In Pennsylvania, it's snowing its ass off and cold, and in Charleston, South Carolina, I'm sure there's much better weather, but I haven't bothered to look because I didn't want to make myself feel better. I just wanted to reach out to everybody and say hey, and kind of give you a week in review and address a couple of the elephants in the room, as it were, or lack of elephants in our case, and just kind of give you some perspective on, what we're doing, where we're going, and some changes that are occurring. I am in week two of recovery here. There's my walker right there, and there's Mitchie down there, and all my crap on the floor. Still kind of riding it out with this total knee replacement. It's not the most fun thing in the world, and I'm working as much as I can these days. We got some new people starting, some interesting things happening there, and let's just get into the numbers here and kind of see where we're going. We actually saw a slight increase week over week across the board. Last week, we were just a slight touch, it appears. This is week 16 of the year. Out of 52 weeks, this is week 16. This is for a week ending 4/18. So we had a total total hours across the board of 13,019.83. So basically 13,000 hours, folks. We were up 365 from the previous week, which was pretty good. So at least I think that's what that says here, Ange. Yeah, from our previous week, which looks like we had, I'm having a hard time reading this number. Oh yeah, so the previous week was 12,629. So we're up. That's good. Some kind of interesting statistics in terms of numbers. The billable hours went up by 365. The average billable hours per employee went up by 2.18. That's 2.818 per person. On a lot of times we look at that as what they call an FTE, or 40-hour equivalency. But in this case, where the average employee worked about 34.56. The net starts, they weren't pretty, folks. They were negative 14 across the board. And probably what made the day in terms of hours is that average working FTE per person of 34, up 2 hours. So we had 74 new starts, and we had 84 people that were termed in 4 conversions. So while it isn't, a home run week, it is still nothing to sneeze at. It takes a lot of effort and energy to maintain that. So good work, everybody. I'm just going to jump into the numbers here real quick. Attached will be the trend report for all of your digestion. And then really look at this trend report, because it holds you accountable to what am I doing for my customers right now. Because, that they're probably working with other agencies, and those jobs are going to get filled. But, we are kind of hard up against it with a couple of different items that we don't want to allow them to be smoke screens in our mind. And I'll get back to that here in a minute, smoke screens in our mind. We're going to go alphabetically. Charleston, it looks like they just had a tiny dip looks like 26 hours week over week, kind of standing strong in there. It's 1,656 hours. D, Ty, and Shavante and the gang down there enjoying the warmer weather of the beautiful springs that they have there in Charleston, and everybody else don't hate me. It looks like they held just lost 26 hours. They pretty much, the biggest place that they had a gain, it looked like, was Century Aluminum. They gained around 85 hours. Everywhere else, they kind of trimmed back. That branch has come a long way. And, they're facing a lot of stiff competition for people in the market. But other than that, I think the three of them with the adoption of Shavante on the team down there, as long as we keep the effort up and stay focused on the activity, the people are going to come in. I think D had somewhere in the neighborhood of 56. Am I right, D? 56 interviews into that office. And they're dealing with the same thing we're dealing with in Pennsylvania, I'm telling you, as far as a shortage of people. So they're making it happen. So excellent work, Charleston. Next, moving on to Delmont. It looks like Delmont saw a bit of a drop around 166 hours week to week, settling in at 3469 there. And that could be the result. I know Jen was on vacation for a little bit, and the team was reduced down some, and then of course Katrina's on vacation this week. So it still takes a lot to maintain what they've got going over there at Delmont. We got a brand new young person starting there. Her name is Shaylin Marsh. She comes from PCNA. She worked up there as a nurse. Her husband, Shaylin's husband, also works in the organization for a client that we have out of Delmont. So welcome her, and she'll be a nice addition to the team. So good work out there, Delmont. Keep on trucking, and you got a lot of open job orders, and we're taking steps to work on the recruiting angle. AOG, Liz and Jasmine out there. Had a slight uptick this week, 174, not too bad. They're pulling in with 2850 on hours, up from 2643 last week. Biggest contention there is turnover. And, we know that if we're going to take some steps to mitigate the turnover through, bringing on possibly what's called a cheerleader up there. But you got to give it to Liz and Jasmine up there, just pounding out what needs to be pounded out up there, staying with it, getting in at 6:30 in the morning. Jasmine out at night, working out for frustrations, posting on Facebook Live, right? I saw you. I know what you were doing. So anyway, good work, you two. I got some people coming for you. I was on the phone earlier today with a couple people. So help is on the way. Great work with the van transportation that you did with the halfway houses. That was inspiring work in the way you got that done. Forms and leads. Leads finally stopped their bleeding. Colleen, excellent work. Kathy out there, and Colleen just kind of sticking it to the man. It looks like they saw around a 173-hour increase. They stopped some bleeding out there as well. I know that the pay rates are a little bit of a struggle out there, but they always have been. You'll get there. The more you start to see some of the ebbs and the flows and the tricks of the trade out there, it will become second nature to kind of seeing where you can save people and seeing where you can end some of the turnover by talking with the supervisor and mitigating those ends before they even happen. But that takes a little time once your mind decompresses. And the more you absorb the site and you get a regular cadence in with talking with the supervisors, it becomes just like running a branch. So good work, everybody out there. Moving to Pittsburgh, Shauna, look at you, girl. A 227-hour increase week over week. Great job. It looks like R. Donnelly had a little bit of a bump. You had some gains at Chelsea, it appears. And I know you got a lot going on, Shauna. Everybody's, thinking about you and just amazed with the continual professional, just hard work that you're doing for not only yourself, but for your team, the workers that you field out there. They appreciate it, I know, what you're doing out there. So You're the greatest of all time. There's a reason for that. Holding down 2363 hours all by yourself. Shauna Whipple holding down 2,300 hours all by herself, all while, maintaining some very heavy responsibilities at home. Everybody needs to give her a shout out. So I miss you. As soon as I get off this damn couch, I'm coming to see you. Okay. Moving on to McMurray. McMurray, they are coming along with Bakery Barn. That came out of the woodwork, really kind of when we were starting the account. They're up to what looks like a whopping 383 in hours. You remember Charleston when you were at 383? Or Delmont when you were at 383? Well, no one knows or remembers except for me and Holly, but it's a long slog. Now listen, Brandon got promoted into the branch manager role because he came on like a bolt of fire right over at True Foods. We lost the knucklehead branch manager we tried to hire. He walked out, he looked around, and he saw the professionalism, and he saw the energy, and he saw the strength of the women and the folks on this team. And, he just said, I can't hang with these people. And he walked out the door. So good riddance, bro. We're going to take our game and we're going to walk it all the way up to Main Street, right? So go do something else. So Brandon has swung in there along with Shannon. Shannon's really, really picking it up. She's finding her groove. A lot of good calls I'm hearing out of there. They're swinging people in there, getting started. And as a new branch and new staffing managers, they're also starting to feel some of the idiosyncrasies that happens with clients. And, you're going to have that. And it's a relationship that you're going to build and develop over time where the two of you, you're going to get to know each other like brothers and sisters with your client. There's going to be times where you just want to like choke the shit out of them, and then other times you're going to be like, wow, they're going to throw you a bone or do something that you really appreciate you for. So let's see what else. Who do I have? So I covered Pittsburgh, Shauna, Jasmine, Liz, Kathy, Colleen, Delmont, which is Brent. Jen, Katrina's on vacation, so I'm sure she'll still watch the video and wish she was opening an office in Hilton Head. And Shaylin, our new person. And obviously Brandon and Shannon in the McMurray office, as well as not to be forgotten about the HR, not the HR office, the management office of Angie the accountant, which is how I have her in my phone. And if you notice, there were no report cards that came out this week because we didn't want to scare anybody off the bus, right, Ange? And then Nicole always slugging it out. She was able to get a new car, very nice new car that she was overdue for, and Martha and myself. Couple cool notes of interest. We have hired a internal human resources director to take care of everybody here. To bring in new people, to get the reviews done on time, to get the handbook straight, to get communications out back and forth with all of the key players that we have on the team out there that we need to do a lot better of a job for. And also keeping up with birthdays and just being more collective in terms of taking care of the organization. So her name is Christina. She starts May 17th. She's going to be chinking and dinking here over the next couple of weeks and part-time evenings and maybe on the weekends. She's going to be out to see you, to get to know who you are, get to know how you tick. Ideally, I want her to sort of understand, our brain and how we think at commercial employees and the hustle and the vigor that we come to the dance with. And I kind of leave that subject for last, the hustle and the vigor that we dance with. part of the reason that we own some of the property that we own at True Foods and PCNA and R. Donnelly and all those clients is because they know what you all bring to the table. You bring hustle and vigor and a sense of urgency because that's what it is in this game. In manufacturing and production, like those job orders are coming and those production supervisors are like, where's my people? Where's my people? Where's my people? And they have no time, right? So we do our best to absorb, bring in, screen, and get out people and manage them, as deftly as possible. And it's happening. It really is. For us to be able to maintain this level of where we're at, our only hurdle right now is to be able to get people, and that's kind of where the last area of subject matter that I wanted to talk to. Listen, folks, I know it's a struggle, right? You got unemployment, stimulus, tax refunds, all out there just kicking the crap out of the job market. But don't let that be a mental smokescreen. For just as many people that are getting those things, there's just as many people that are not. There's people coming off unemployment. There are people that are going on unemployment. There are people moving in. There are people moving out. Change is our medium. Like, we are in the business of change. So if you're feeling frustrated today, if you're feeling like you're giving it all you got and you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back, that may be your reality. Okay, I ain't gonna lie to you, but the trick is just staying with it, just pinging it. Because what's going to end up happening is that you're going to be making that extra effort. When you get frustrated, don't make 5 less calls, make 5 more calls, because those 5 more calls, or find a way to send an email. Come up with a creative post. I can tell you this. Some of the damn Facebook posts, ads, and LinkedIn ads I've seen have just been really, really, really cool. So I know I'm long. I'm already 17 minutes, and I'm a blabber jabby. But again, I look at what we're doing, and I know we're having some internal turnover internally. But we got a couple good people in the wings. We got an HR manager, and we have a very robust, aggressive group on the field that's not going to let anything fall through the cracks. So super proud to say that, I'm blessed that you all allow me to lead you. And I wish you to have a good week. And don't let it get you down. Nose to the grindstone. Stay focused. There is sunshine on the other side. I promise. I've seen there. I've done it. And you're going to get her done. All right. Have a great week. Go kick some ass. Commercial employees strong.